Hey guys, so in the last couple of days I've been busy doing some garden cleanup. I've been removing some dead leaves from the plants and just making sure that the garden is tidy, everything is in its place, and the dead plants, I moved those out of the garden and put them into the outdoor composting one bin, which is something new. And that is a whole video on its own, a whole episode. So I'll be doing another video for that. So today I'm going to be showing you the new state of the garden after I've done the cleanup. So without wasting much time, let's get straight into the video. Today I'm going to start right off my soybean edge. So I planted this edge that I'm going to show you at the edge of my garden so that I can demarcate where my garden ends and where my neighbor's yard begins. It's my soybean plant that I've planted, and they are acting as a hedge to demarcate where my garden ends and where my neighbor's yard begins. And the small soybean pods are just starting to form. These are going to grow long and they will be plumpy and full. So as you can see, this is beginning to form a edge, and right down there you can see this background. This is where my neighbor's yard begins, and I've also got these sour fig plants which are just acting as a carpet, and possibly they are locking down moisture in the soil. And the sour fig is also flowering. You can see this beautiful flower of the sour fig, which is matching with the flowers of the soybeans. So the edge goes up to the top of my garden. The last time that I did a full garden update, I showed you that my African kale plants were being nibbled by some pests which I couldn't identify, and they were also infested by aphids. So this is what I then did. This might seem like an overkill in trying to deal with the aphids and the pest issue, but this was a necessary evil, guys. Since I don't use any chemicals to deal with pests and insects, this is the only thing that I can do. Remove all the leaves that are affected, remove all the leaves that have got aphids, and allow the plants to start growing again. As you can see here, this is what I'm expecting. Some new fresh leaves that have no aphids, that are not affected, and this is what I'm expecting that these whole plants are going to turn out like. After seeing how this comfrey plant is growing big like this, I decided that this can act as a mulch in this kale bed. So what I've done is that I've added some more comfrey plants. You can see I've got one here, I've got another one there, I've got another one there. I've planted a whole line of comfrey plants in this African kale bed with the intention that when they grow big like this, they're going to cover the ground and they're going to act as a mulch. And comfrey leaves, they dry up so quickly if it gets hot, and they also break down very quickly. So as they are going to be drying and breaking down, they are going to add back the nutrients into the soil, which is going to be another added advantage. In this garden bed over here, nothing has really changed besides that the strawberries are starting to grow some runners. We've been harvesting from the spinach and from the carrots. Nothing really much has changed in this bed. There's nothing really to show here. So maybe I can give an update on the Swiss chard plants. I've removed the outer leaves. I didn't throw those away. We cooked them and we enjoyed those. So what I'm going to be doing with the Swiss chard plants is I'm going to be fertilizing them with a comfrey liquid fertilizer, and I'll see how they are going to be doing, given that now it's very warm, hot rather, and with the comfrey liquid fertilizer, I hope they're going to do well. In this next bed here, I had some cherry tomatoes growing, and some of them had dried up, so I removed those and I added in some pepper plants. which you can see right here. I added pepper plants, this whole line up to the end of the bed. And there's also some Swiss chard plants that are growing in this bed again. I also moved my moringa trees, which are growing in these sacks over here, so that they can receive some sunlight and they can grow well. Over there, I've got that cocoa plant, and in that grow bag there, I've got a strawberry plant. Over there, I've got a grapevine cutting that is growing, and I've got some two pepper plants in there that I'm going to be transplanting tomorrow. And I'm going to be putting some fish head in the fish body in each of the walls that I'm going to be planting those pepper plants. So make sure you make a date with me tomorrow, and I'll show you as I plant those. Over here at the sugarcane plants, nothing really has changed. Besides that, I've removed some of the bottom leaves, and we've also harvested two of the canes. So this sugarcane variety, the Akoki variety that I got, is very sweet, and I can't wait to enjoy the rest of these canes. Nothing here. Coming to this bed, nothing really has changed in here besides that I've just removed some of the excess mulch that was in here. Things were really starting to be anaerobic down there, so I had to remove the mulch, and I did spread it over the other beds. As you can see, the last time some of these beds were not mulched, so I used the excess mulch from this bed to mulch the other beds. And these are some of the cherry tomatoes that survived. So what I did is I had to find something to stick them up with. So that stick, that is the purpose that it is serving over there. Down here I've got my beetroot, which is growing well now that I've removed the excess mulch which was molesting the beetroot. I believe now it's going to start to do well, and I also removed the excess mulch that was around the heads, the fennel, the coriander, the parsley. So the excess moisture was making things easier for the aphids and the ants. Given that there was moisture around the plants, they were really doing well, referring to the aphids. So I had to remove the mulch around these heads so that they can be open to air and there won't be much moisture around the plants. Over here, I've built something that looks like a wigwam for my cherry tomatoes. In the meantime, it's for the cherry tomatoes, but I'm planning to plant some scarlet runner beans down there. At each post, I'm going to plant two scarlet runner beans, two there and two over there, and those are going to climb up the wigwam like structure. Down here, I've got the moringa seedlings. So yesterday, I was here fertilizing this with some worm castings and adding a layer of mulch on top of the soil, which I had mixed with worm castings. So this is what changed here. In this bed, I later on went ahead to plant some maize or corn. So I've planted the maize, and I also planted some peas in this bed as well. Let me look to see if any of the peas is popped up yet. So I planted in the maize. I thought I saw one piece that had popped up already this morning. Okay, here it is. So we are waiting for the rest of the piece to come up. Over here, something has changed. As you can see, my flowers are starting to come up. The zinnias were the first to come up, and the carnation are starting to follow up again. And over here, this is the mustard spinach, and here these are the beetroots. So in here I planted herbs, they are not yet up, and in this one that I've covered to keep in it, there is the pepper seeds and the tomato seeds, which are not yet to come up again. This container here, I've got some scarlet runner bean seeds. I've got some moringa seeds as well. And this is water which is mixed with some worm castings. So they are sipping that in, and I'm going to be planting this tomorrow. Over here at my nursery, nothing really has changed. The plants are growing well, the grapevines are doing well, and this is the outdoor worm bed. This is a video on its own. The earlier lemon plants are doing well. You can see the leaves are starting to turn dark green. Things are not really looking well for this one, but if I fertilize this, I know it's going to do well, just like this one. Down here nothing has really changed, but I need to fertilize this with a comfrey liquid fertilizer. Over here at the comfrey patch, things are really starting to look up. As you can see, the comfrey is really growing vigorously, and I'm going to be harvesting this very soon to make a liquid comfrey fertilizer for my plants. In this bed here, the sword beans that I added have not yet come up, but what I did here is I staked up the sword beans that were already growing in this bed. I added some support so that they can grow well. The white things or the white stuff that you are seeing, that is the poop of the crows that nest in the tree above these plants here. So over the winter, these did not do anything much, but now they are starting to flower. The beautiful purple flowers are just starting to come up. Over here at the banana plant, we've got a new leaf that came up yesterday. So guys, that is basically everything that is changed in the garden. Tomorrow I'm going to be transplanting those two pepper plants that I showed you. So make sure to make a date with me tomorrow, and I'll show you as I plant the pepper plants. I just want to say thank you for watching, guys, and if you found this video to be interesting, don't hesitate to like and don't hesitate to share with your friends and family.